And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Week 3, Day 2 of the Commonwealth League here on Twitch. LaRue doing the casting today, doing the play-by-play for you. Alongside me is my color caster, at least for this portion of the evening. It's going to be Summer Grimm. Summer, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay. I'm excited to return to the realm of cast.
Yeah, of course, not really a color caster by trade, but, I appreciate your efforts the last time, so I decided to bring you back, especially with our first game of the night, Monster Mash versus Nocturnal Dragons. Of course, if you haven't heard, if you've just joined us throughout the weeks, we actually own a team outside of the Commonwealth League, and it's actually casual banter, and so these two teams actually heavily influenced by that. Monster Mash, kind of an auxiliary team. Nocturnal Dragons, one of the official teams, and so it's kind of a CV party. So I figured if I'm gonna bring back Summer Grimm, why not bring it back here today? So we already did Pro Draft. We have already gotten through that, so all the picks have been made. And as you see here, we're talking about the big story for Monster Mash in that draft, Summer, was the flex picks for top and mid for Monster Mash. You had the Echo, and then you're going to see here in a second, it was a Galio pick. And as you see that one locked in, the question is who is going to be playing that. But I think the rules, and you can correct me on this, is that you have to, after Pro Draft, pick the champion that you're playing. So it looks like we're going to see a top Echo and a mid Galio.
Yeah, well, we don't actually have a specific rule about Pro Draft. We didn't expect so many teams to be so excited about Pro Draft. Usually there's a lot more dissatisfaction for it, so there's not any Pro Draft specific rules. I guess if they wanted to, they could still swap the Echo and Galio around, but I'm pretty sure they're going to keep it Echo top and Galio mid.
All right, yeah, so we'll see where that ends up here in just a bit, but you see the bans, Caitlyn, Nico, Nar, and Lissandra. We'll also see a Wukong ban here in just a second coming out from Monster Mash. For Nocturnal Dragons, they took away the Zyra, or the Zaya, Azir, Rek'Sai, and Lee Sin. So once those bans are all complete, you're going to see Nomad, he's actually going to be on the Lucian this time around. You see that Corki actually going into the mid lane for Psycho Ghost, and Snow Too Funky, he's going to respond with the Ezreal. It's going to be an Ezreal Janna. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be a Janna for Sume, and then it's going to be the Morgana for Wolfie. So both supports on comfort picks. You were telling me before the game, Summer, the Janna is kind of Sume's second champion behind Zyra, and then you were really excited about seeing Wolfie on that Morgana because, she's been playing champions such as Shen, such as Nautilus, and she's been kind of hit or miss on that. She's not really been on her comfort picks, but today she does get that Morgana.
Yes, I'm super excited because her Shen, the Leona, the Nautilus, all of that was fine. But I know she has a history with more of those Ardent and Mage-focused supports, and to see her in that more comfortable pick, I'm really excited to see how these two bot lanes go.
Yeah, so certainly, of course. And while we've got some time here, let's go ahead and talk about the lineup for today's games, because we do have 3 games coming up on tap. Monster Mash and Nocturnal Dragons, of course, the first game here tonight, and then we will swap over for our second game. It's actually going to be G3 Reapers. They're going to be taking on RAR. RAR, of course, coming off their first loss of the season last night to mediocre at best. And then in game number 3, bit of an interesting one, kind of an interesting storyline to follow. The 0-5 Lionheart Esports, they're going to be taking on the 5-0 mediocre at best. So it would be probably the biggest upset we have seen all year if Lionheart Esports can take down mediocre at best here tonight. But of course, we do have our first game. That's a long way away. We'll see that game starting about 9 p.m. tonight, hopefully around 9 p.m. tonight. But of course, Monster Mash, Nocturnal Dragons. Nocturnal Dragons, they're back down below 500, 2-3. Monster Mash picking up their first win in very dominating fashion last night, Summer. And this might be a Monster Mash team that's really starting to hit its stride.
They're all back in their comfort roles. They've gotten a couple of games in with each other to get that synergy going. So they're definitely on the upswing now, or at least I hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah, and certainly Nocturnal Dragons, they're going to look to get back into that win column. Of course, if you didn't remember, Nocturnal Dragons, they were the champions of Season 1. Of course, the only 2 players remaining from that championship team are, of course, Quetzalcoatl in the jungle and Psycho Ghost in the mid lane. Jared the Bear was on the team as a sub, but not as a starter. So it's a kind of a new look, Nocturnal Dragons. Of course, new name, new logo, designed by me, by the way. And, of course, they have had kind of a hit and miss start to the regular season. One of those wins was over Monster Mash, though, a completely different looking Monster Mash team, but they'll try to make it 2-0 over Monster Mash for at least the regular season. A chance to sweep the season set, if you will, and take 2 over their compatriots in Monster Mash. But still 1 minute left to go. Just a reminder, if you're just now joining us for the first time, we go live every weekend, so go ahead and hit that follow button. You get notifications. I was a little nervous today that we wouldn't be able to get on. If you didn't already know, I am also handling the streaming today, so if you do see any problems with the stream, and I don't usually like to talk to Twitch chat, but on a day like today, gotta make an audible. Just let me know in the Twitch chat. I got that pulled up. I'm paying attention, and we can fix things as we go along, and hopefully get everything going, at least, if not by the first game, by the second game, and hopefully we won't have a whole lot of audio problems. I know I actually didn't get Summer's voice in on Champ Select and the in-game here in a second, so I know I'll have to make something. I know I'll have to get your voice in so that you can give us the analysis once the game starts, Summer.
Nobody heard me talking.
No, people have heard you up until now. It's just that I can't change scenes without actually changing what is being streamed, or at least I don't know how to do that. And so I'm kind of having to put your voice in as we go along, as I don't have the actual desktop audio coming out just yet, and so. I have to adjust volumes everywhere I go for a little bit, so it'll be okay. But either way, the spectator delay is up. We are getting into game, and so as you can see, the comps are set. Echo, Jarvan, Galio, Ezreal, and Janna for Monster Mash. Ornn, Xin, Corki, Lucian, and Morgana for the side of Nocturnal Dragons. Again, I am LaRue. Thank you very much for joining me here on this Sunday night. I know you could be doing a lot of other things. Some of us, we have work in the morning, but it really does mean a lot for you to join us here on Twitch.tv. So there we go. Now I got your voice in here, Summer. You can be heard once again, but you do see the skins, Summer. A lot of actual expensive skins coming out from both these teams.
Yes.
Money flexing.
Money flexing. But you know me. I see that Dark Star skin. That's the only thing I see. It just completely overtakes everything else.
Because we all know you are a complete edgelord. And
I love the Dark Star skin line. They're so cool.
I know. How many Dark Star skins do you not own? That's the real question there.
I don't own the newest bout. So I don't have those ones. The Morgana skin, it looks really nice too.
Yeah, of course, like I said the last time I was actually casting last week, I didn't know that Majestic Empress Morgana was even a skin, but I can tell you that I actually did purchase Star Guardian Nico today, so I finally got around to that. But anyway, just some idle banter as you do see here once again. Monster Mash, they are 1-4 coming into this game. Nocturnal Dragons, they are 2-3. Monster Mash looking to make it a winning streak here. Winning 2 games, obviously, their first winning streak of the season. Nocturnal Dragons, they're going to look to get back to 500 and really kind of establish themselves as a mid-tier threat here as we finish week number 3. Of course, remember, it is a 5-week season. We are basically at the halfway point, Summer. So we can maybe stop talking about the early season and start talking about, well, how are these teams going to kind of finish up and really kind of set themselves up for the playoffs to come? Because as you know, all 6 teams do make the playoffs, and you're going to want to get one of those top 2 spots, as that guarantees you the bye.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, you can say we still have our powerhouses in mediocre at best and RAR. Both of those teams incredibly strong. Nocturnal Dragons in G3, I think, are still going head-to-head. I think if you put them in a game together, you never can guarantee which way it's going to go. Monster Mash, on the up and up, now that they've got their roster figured out. In Lionheart, they have their captain back. He's going to be playing with them, so it's going to be exciting how that changes things for them tonight, too.
So obviously taking quite a while here in the loading screen. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Are you in the game yet, Summer?
Nope.
Okay, good. Because, I was talking to you about some client problems I was having earlier today, so I was really starting to get nervous, like, okay, am I just not in the game? Because, if my client crashes, then we've got ourselves a bit of a problem. But anyway, of course, if the season did end today, it would be interesting to note as we finally get into action here. Nocturnal Dragons, I believe they would have the 4 seed and Monster Mash would have the 5 seed. So you would see Nocturnal Dragons probably take on that G3 Reapers team. And of course, Monster Mash, they would be taking on... Actually, I'm all confused. I'm going to stop talking about that. We are getting into game, as this has just been a wonderful start, hasn't it? I am LaRue once again. Alongside me, legendary color caster. She's a lot better than she gives herself credit for. Summer Grimm. Glad you could join us here on this Sunday as we wait to see what these teams do as we get onto the Rift. Forgot I also have to set up the scoreboard and everything else. I do not miss season 1.
You know, you didn't expect to be casting or doing the stream until like an hour and a half before. You didn't have the materials. You're doing just...
30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. And so we do see here it's actually a 5-man group for the side of Nocturnal Dragons. They're going to get spotted out, though, by the flag of the Jarvan Force, so they're all going to fan out. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a bit more of a traditional start. As you see, everybody just going to set up for that 5-point. So it's going to be interesting to see where both junglers start. Of course, Jarvan most likely going to start at his red. You see Jared the Bear kind of roaming around his red buff. We might even see a red buff start for the Xin Zhao as well. But we'll have to see what they do. As you do see Gnomelad and Wolfie, they have warded the blue buff, excuse me, on their side of the map. So going to be interesting to see where these two junglers start. I think that's one of the more interesting matchups of this game, Summer. Of course, you can also talk about Gnomelad and Snow Too Funky, but these two junglers, Sephiroth looked very good yesterday on the Gragas, and Quetzalcoatl, he's usually one of the better players on the side of Nocturnal Dragons. So that's going to be real fun to watch and see how the jungle matchup works out as well. But you do see it is the Xin Zhao working on that blue buff. It's going to be a bot side jungle start for both junglers, and so pretty standard, at least this year in the Commonwealth, for pretty much every jungle we've seen has started bottom side jungle this year.
For the junglers, it's definitely going to be interesting. We've seen Kets on some more bruiser, tankier junglers, and I know there was talk in the Discord last night, shout out to the Discord, about seeing him back on that Xin Zhao, which he did so well on season.
Here's our first gank of the game as Mandingo Azir. He's going to be taken down real low, and of course I might alternate between calling him Catastrophe and his new name here today. That is Catastrophe, not a new player. Some of you may remember him from last week and basically being the starter for Monster Mash all season, as you see continuous poke coming down from Psycho Ghost. I'm going to have to try to figure out what I'm going to call him this game here. As you do see some trades up on the top side. Jared the Bear taking a huge chunk of as long as Samurai's health there. The Echo down to about 50% health. As, so far, the early trades mostly going in the favor of Nocturnal Dragons.
It's really interesting to see how they're turning out, because a lot of the Nocturnal Dragons picks are what you would assume to be like Monster Mash fallback comfort picks. You usually see Snow on the Lucian, or Mandingo Azir on the...
Got ourselves a gank here. There's the flash coming out from Corki as Sephiroth also making his presence known in the mid lane. That's going to be 2 successful ganks to the mid side, but you do see here some fighting up on the top side. As long as Samurai, he's going to be taken low. The other Bear, he's going to try to push it. One more auto attack would do it. There it is. The flash out from Echo's not going to save him. First blood for Jared the Bear on the Ornn.
Jared the Bear plays a lot of Ornn. He's played it in scrims I've seen before. He knows the damage output he needs to get that kill. Was not even hesitant to flash in.
Yeah, so you see Islamic Samurai TPing back to lane, will come back with full health and full mana. Jared the Bear yet to go back. Of course, does have the shopkeep available to him. Don't really think a whole lot about Ornn. Don't really see him a whole lot outside of the competitive scene, and even inside the competitive scene. Not really one of the more common picks in the league this season, but you know, can be a pick who, you know, can stay in lane for quite some time if you really do kind of play it right. But you do see here some continuous trades in the bot side. Gnomelad and Snow Too Funky probably, honestly, Summer, and I say a lot of things, but honestly this game could come down to which 80 carry can carry harder.
It might. Nocturnal Dragons, a lot of their strength comes from their bot lane, but the exact same thing can be said for Monster Mash. But with the addition
we got
of
ourselves an
Sephiroth,
awkward situation. Jared the Bear, he's going to find Jarvan in the bush. Quetzalcoatl is there, though, to make this a 2v2 fight. Of course, Psycho Ghost, he is coming up the river as well. That's going to force Jarvan and Echo to turn around. It looks like we're not going to have much more fighting, as they're just going to go ahead and walk on back to their tower. But almost an interesting little skirmish up there on the top side.
Almost. Those skirmishes are going to change once that Galio hits 6, and his ability to just ult into any lane has such potential to turn fights like.
Yeah, look at how low Nomlad is, by the way. I was actually just about to mention that. As you see, the Lucian going to have to heal himself to stay alive. Nomlad, he is a player who likes to stay at low health. He does not like to back a whole lot. And so he will stay under his tower. He will try to keep himself safe for as long as possible, and that can really lead to him actually having some pretty good CS totals if he can manage to stay alive. You do see here, he does have the advantage as the bot lane of MOMvsNDR. They're actually going to be the first ones to step on back, but it is a 6 CS lead. Make that 8 now for Nomlad on the Lucian. So you see here some trading in the mid lane. Once again, Corki and Galio going at it. 5.5 minutes. Gold actually in the favor of Nocturnal Dragons, especially because of that kill. Do you see here as we take a look at the individual gold, it's already a 600 gold lead for Jared the Bear on that Ornn. And of course, as you notice, we're actually able to take a look at the individual gold, at least display that one on stream as, you know, I can show whatever I want to, Summer.
You have complete control now.
I have complete control. I am the stream maker. The stream is all on me today, and I'm really kind of really kind of excited about it. But we do cross the 6-minute mark. Not a whole lot of action here, but hold on. We do have some trading up on the top side. As long as Samurai, he's not level 6 yet. Jared the Bear has hit his ult. He's going to pop it. The auto attack's keep coming down. There's the knock-up, and boom! He's just going to thunderclap him for his second kill here in the lane. Jared the Bear, 2-0 early. Now
yeah, I'm kind of...
1 second, we got some fighting here as Psycho Ghost is going to be taken low. Does get one last proc of the fleet footwork on the way out, but he's going to be low, and he's going to have to take it back.
I'm curious if the Echo DC'd there. He had like a really long pause after moving, and as you can see, he's sitting in... Oh, there he goes. He's moving.
Yeah, he's moving now. I was actually just about to say that as well. He did kind of stop moving. No pause coming out, though. So we will play as intended as... you know, usually you pause when the lag comes down, but there's the Black Dark Binding on the Snow Too Funky. All the damage coming down. Nice shield from Sume. That's going to take the brunt of the burst from Nomlad and Wolfie, but that's going to be a very low health Snow Too Funky. Does have both his summoners available. You do see here Sephiroth, he is in the area, and so we might have ourselves a developing situation if Wolfie and Nomlad continue to push up too far. There's another Dark Binding going down onto Sume, but Nomlad perhaps smartly not diving in on that one. You see here Quetzalcoatl, he's actually on his blue buff, and they're going to start heading down towards the bot lane river. We might have ourselves a skirmish coming up here in just a second as the TP is coming out from Islamic Saint. Actually, that's going to be Galio. Nomad, he's actually going to go down first. That's a 4-man gank down bot. The taunt is going to come down to Wolfie. She's going to be the next to go down. It's a 2-0 in favor of MOMvsNDR. Nice movement across the map from the side of MOMvsNDR to go ahead and pick up 2 kills for themselves.
Yeah, I thought that was going to turn out completely different, seeing Zinzao and Corki roaming down the river, but... Hold
on, now we have some action into the bot side of the river as we do have a 2v2. Sephiroth, he's going to actually go down. Mandingo and Zir, he's going to use his ultimate to try to save him. It's not going to be enough, though. He's going to have to walk down to his bot lane as the Janus shield is going to keep him alive and actually going to force Nocturnal Dragons to back up for the time being, but they do get one of those kills back, and that's going to be the first kill of the game for Psycho Ghost. Nomad, he's going to come back in a hurry. That's actually going to burn the heal of Snow Too Funky, trying to keep the Galio alive. So that's a summoner down as Nomad just comes back in full force, and they're going to start up this mountain drain.
The Galio overstayed a little trying to protect that vision ward, specifically for a dragon call like this, but not a super great idea when you're all pretty low and your jungler's not on the map.
Yeah, so you do see Nocturnal Dragons, they are going to back off the Dragon. Psycho Ghost, he's just going to go ahead and have to Valkyrie under his own tower. Taking a little bit of damage there. You see, he's very low health, very low mana. Going to go ahead and have to take his next back as you see Jarvan and Zinzao still not level 6. Both junglers awfully behind, at least in experience at this stage of the game. We are crossing the 9-minute mark, still even in gold. But Nocturnal Dragons, that small kill lead, of course, both those kills, or 2 of those kills, coming from the Ornn up top side.
That Ornn's might not do a ton of damage later in team fights, but his utility is gonna be great.
Yeah, of course, that knock-up, depending on where you send it, that can be a big team fight changer. If you knock out a couple of utility targets as well. Snow Too Funky, he is on a mobile AD carry, though. That is going to be something we also need to pay attention for. As, you know, can dodge a lot of CC with a well-placed Arcane Shift, with the Flash. just a lot of movement on the Ezreal to kind of keep himself alive and keep himself with the damage output. Of course, we have seen Snow2 Funky on the Ezreal this season. Looked really good on it until he didn't, is kind of the best way to describe his first Ezreal game. I believe at some point he was like 5-0-13, but ended the game with about 5-4. But you do see here, Jared the Bear just able to exert his pressure at will, doing about 50% of the Echo's HP in damage with a full combo with just that Catalyst and that Negatron Cloak. So a lot of damage there. You do see here, Nomad, actually Psycho Ghost, he's going to be down in the bottom side as we have ourselves a little bit of a skirmish. Not a whole lot going on as these two teams continue to kind of posture around the dragon.
Well, you definitely want that monster. You definitely want that Earth Dragon to be able to take those towers even faster.
Hold on, we got ourselves a gank. Psycho Ghost, he's going to find himself in a precarious situation here. It looks like he's going to go down. Yes, Sethraf is going to claim the kill up on the top side. Jared the Bear, he's going to try to find some damage down onto the Echo, but Quetzalcoatl is not going to have any room to do any work. And so it's going to be a clean kill for Monster Mash. And I believe that was the first kill of the game for Sethraf on that Jarvan. As you see here, the bot side continuing to push towards that tower. Jungle fight in the top side river, as that's going to be a lot of damage put down to Sephiroth. The Jarvan is going to keep Quetzalcoatl in place. He's going to go down, but how much can the Ornn do in return? The knockup is there for the Galio. Jared the Bear going to try to find it. He's on a killing spree, able to find the fadeaway kill on that ult, but Islamic Samurai, he is down. Jared the Bear just trying to do as much as he can. Almost puts that Galio into a killing situation, but he will finally go down for the first time, as it's going to be a kill for Islamic Samurai.
I'm not familiar with Ornn damage that much. That shocked me. I didn't actually think it was going to kill Sephiroth.
The Ornn ultimate definitely does quite a bit of damage. Ornn, a champion that not a lot of people think about doing damage until you get hit by it, and then you realize, oh, that's actually quite a bit of damage. So definitely Jared the Bear, knowing his limits there, knowing what he could do, and of course got that kill onto Sephiroth for kill number 3. Earthdrake still up, and you see here Nocturnal Dragons, they're going to start moving over towards that dragon once again. Actually, think about it, now would actually be a very good time to start it, as the bot lane of Monster Mash, the only ones in the area, and I don't think they know the Tornado is going to not find anybody. Ezreal is over the wall. That's going to be something to point out here, as the dragon is going to be taken low, and there you go. Nocturnal Dragons, they're going to seek the first dragon of the game here at 12 minutes, and it is going to be that Mountain Drake.
Oh, and here's the Return Herald, possibly, or maybe just Vision.
Now Sephiroth, he's going to check for Vision. You do see here, he is going to put an auto attack down onto the Herald, so they're going to go ahead and start that thing up. As long as Samurai, he is coming as well. We'll see if Jared the Bear maybe makes a response, as Sephiroth continues to just work on that alone. Psycho Ghost, he's going to avoid the taunt in the mid lane, but Jared the Bear just continuing to trade up on top. As you see Sephiroth, he's going to actually have that Herald down to about 4k health.
So while they're getting Herald, Quetzalcoatl ended up giving blue buff to Gnome Lad over Psycho Ghost. And I can say, just from playing with Snow, blue buff on Lucian is just, it's awful. I hate it. It makes Lucian so pokey.
Of course, when you have all the mana to do your dashes, do your little light shots, do your double auto attacks and all that, really makes Lucian a force to be reckoned with in lane. And so we'll see if Nomad kind of exerts that pressure. 0 for 1 this game. You do see the gold for both 80 carries at this point. It is the Ezreal over the Lucian by about 6k gold. The other Bear, he's going to have to try to flash out to avoid all the CC, but Jarvan and Echo just continue to push down on the Galio, or the Ornn, excuse me. He's not able to keep himself alive long enough to really force them to tower dive any more than they have to. It's going to be another kill for Sephiroth. Then you see they're going to go ahead and summon that Rift Herald up top. That's going to be first tower.
We'll see if Corki can try and stop him from pushing it even further into the second tower. It looks like Xin Zhao's going to go answer Galio.
Yeah, all the plates, the first tower, definitely a rich Jarvan, so to speak. 1.2k the gold differential here, and you see here Quetzalcoatl, he's just going to go on to the Galio. Galio's going to go ahead and flash over the wall to safety. Going to go ahead and ult on top of the Jarvan to kind of continue this push up top side. So good movement there from Mandingo Azir, even though they're just going to go ahead and back off. But nice job getting out of what could have been a sticky situation.
He got out of the situation. They got the Herald down to the second tower and got a lot of good damage.
Hold on here, a fight down bot side is Nomad. He's just going to try to push as much as he can. Does get the kill onto Janna before he eventually goes down. It is going to be Sume who claims the kill onto that Lucian. But you do see here, when you have that blue buff, you can go in deep And that is exactly what MOMvsNDR did there to pick up his first kill of the game.
Blue buff on Lucian, he can just keep spending all that mana, like you said, doing his dashes, his double shots, all of that stuff, and just he'll dive you. And there's nothing you can do, especially with a Morgana that can black shield you from any of Janna's CC.
Yeah, so we do see here at 15 minutes, it is actually about a 3.4k gold lead for the side of MOMvsNDR. Take a look at the individual gold. Everybody in front of their counterparts, even the Echo above the Ornn at this stage of the game. That first tower gold, all those plates, really, really helping to keep that Echo into the game despite being solo killed a couple times early in this one. Of course, you do see the 1k gold differential, the Jarvan over the Xin Zhao, the 6k, or the 600 gold differential between the Corki and the Galio, and then, of course, the bot lane of MOMvsNDR still in front of the bot lane of Nocturnal Dragons, despite Lucian picking up his first kill just about a minute or so ago. So, kind of reaching a lull in this one. This game has been a little bit action-packed, a lot of skirmishes, not a whole lot of kills per se, but a whole lot of skirmishes as we just continue to roll along in our first game of the night.
I feel like that's a MOMvsNDR Nocturnal Dragon specialist skirmishing.
I feel like that's an entire league thing, but here you do see 3 members of Nocturnal Dragons in the mid lane. The TP is going to come out from Islamic Samurai. Maybe just keeping his team safe as not a whole lot of fighting by the time that TP does complete. You do see here Janna is now in the area as well. This Islamic Samurai, he's actually going to run up top to continue that push. And that's going to be someone to know. How much split pushing is Islamic Samurai going to do on that Echo? You might remember Tank Echo back in the day. Really good at split pushing if you leave him alone. And so Nocturnal Dragons, they're going to have to send somebody to respond to that push on the top side.
Echo with his Iceborne Gauntlet, it looks like they're sending Ornn to go respond to him. Something to keep in mind, the Morgana still has stopwatch, so I'm keeping my eye out for like that flash ult that she's known for.
Yeah, Morgana definitely has one use of that, as you see here. Echo actually just going to go ahead and sneak away in the bush here. Jer the Bear not actually able to respond in time to save that tower. So the second tower of the game going down in the top side. As on Nocturnal Dragons, they continue their hunt for their first tower. And you see here, all the towers not really in a position to be taken down without a big old push. Don't really have a whole lot of damage down onto those tier 1 towers.
Yeah, they're going to have to wait for that one perfect team fight where they get enough of the MOMvsNDR players down to be able to hard push any of those towers.
Now, so you do see here the next Drake is an Ocean Drake. Both teams quite interested in picking that up as Islamic Samurai continues his split pushing duties. Quetzalcoatl, he's going to jump onto Snow2 Funky. That's going to force the Galio ult down. He's going to plant. The Dark Binding is not going to connect. Mandingo is here. Actually going to go ahead and find the taunt on the Wolfie. She's going to be deleted by the Ezreal ult. This actually could be bad for Nocturnal Dragons. Xin Zhao ultimate is going to keep him alive, but not long enough to really do anything, as that's going to be his second kill of the fight. This one going to Sethraf. He's 3-2-5 as Islamic Samurai claims another tower. But also the first tower of the game for Nocturnal Dragons. But overall, a victory for the side of MOMvsNDR.
That burst onto the Morgana, she couldn't get anything off before she was just down and out for the count.
Yeah, unfortunately, when that taunt comes down with the follow-up damage from the rest of the MOMvsNDR side, you're just not going to be able to live for very long. And so you do see here, Jer the Bear, he's actually trying to answer the split push from Islamic Samurai in kind. You do have Nomad and Wolfie kind of heading down towards that bot lane tier 2, but that Echo just continues to be a nuisance in moving around the map and taking towers where he can.
Had a rough early lane, and is now just, yeah, like you said, making up for it, going in lanes, split pushing everything down. He's just going to be a problem for the whole game.
I mean, that kind of describes split pushes in general, does it not? Even, no matter how bad your lane is, tower damage is always appreciated. And so that's really where the Echo has kind of excelled. Maybe not in damage numbers, and correct me if I'm wrong on the whole damage numbers thing, but at least in damage to towers, he's done himself a pretty solid job. So approaching the 20-minute mark in this one, 9 kills to 5, but a 5k gold differential for MOMvsNDR. Nocturnal Dragons already more kills than Lionheart Esports was able to pick up last night in their game against MOMvsNDR. But this is a better looking MOMvsNDR team than we saw in the first 2 weeks for sure.
Most definitely. And like we were discussing earlier, that's everybody's in their roles. They've had time to play together. They've kind of figured out that team dynamic.
Yeah, and so when do we start talking about Summer? When do we start talking about maybe, and of course this game's not over yet. This game could very well swing back in the other direction. When do we start talking about Monster Mash really starting to maybe move up the tier list and maybe start to be a threat for the playoffs, especially if they continue to have successes like the success they've seen this week?
You know, that'll be something to look out for next weekend, but we have to keep in mind that we're starting to approach that territory. Monster Mash has a really hard time closing games out. So like you said, we can never count Nocturnal Dragons out of this because who knows what could happen.
Actually, just currently look at the poke the Ezreal is able to do as you see these teams kind of posturing around mid lane. Islamic Samurai, he's up top, continuing to push in that top lane, almost pushed all the way up to the inhibitor tower. As you do see here, it's actually a successful push down mid lane as well. For Monster Mash, they're just able to move around where they want to right now. As Quetzalcoatl, he's trying, but he's going to take a lot of damage. Snow Tooth Funky, he's actually just going ahead and land the killing blow. He's on a killing spree. That's going to be the mid lane tier 1. They are finding success everywhere on the map they turn to here at about 20 minutes. And Islamic Samurai, he's going to be on top of Psycho Ghost. No mind, he's going to put some damage down, but there's the ultimate coming down from the Echo. Echo's just going to try to go deep. That is a tank Echo. Remember, he can take quite a bit of punishment. Wolfie, she's going to go ahead and drop the ult. The stun is there. Can Islamic Samurai get the shield? He does! It's going to get close, but Psycho Ghost comes back from the backside to finish off Echo. But Echo, you see here, when you're a tank, when you have that Iceborne, you have that Bomby Cinder, you can stay alive for quite some time. And despite that Lucian being relatively strong, actually, really only just the Blade of the Ruin King, but you're going to have a bit of a struggle killing that Echo, especially when he can gain health.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the Lucian alone. He had his Morgana there with him as well, and Corki following up in the back, so I don't think there was any way he was getting out of that, but the fact that he almost took on the Lucian and took him with him was surprising.
Yeah, so Islamic Samurai, he will go down for the third time in this game. 2-1 is the Corki. Psycho Ghost, actually, the most gold, I was about to say the most gold on his team, that's a lie. It's actually going to be Jared the Bear on the Ornn, but when you look at the gold for the side of Monster Mash, it's a 7k gold difference here at 22 minutes. But like you said, it's going to be, we have to see how Monster Mash closes this one out. Even in yesterday's game against Lionheart, they did struggle at times really kind of moving around and getting objectives when they needed to. I do remember actually kind of seeing the chat, they were wondering when the game was going to end because it kind of seemed like they were playing with their food just a little bit. So we're going to have to see how they decide to close this one out. Of course, the Baron, it has been up. Not a whole lot of movement around it, just a little bit of vision on that Baron. But if you're Monster Mash, you're really starting to maybe think about getting to that Baron. As you do see here, there's the engage on the Jared the Baron. Snow Tooth Funky, he's going to be up from behind. There's going to be a whole lot of slows. Orange is going to not be able to find a lot of room to walk out of that one. Not even the flash would save him there, I don't think. As you do have two Iceborne Gauntlets, one on the Ezreal, one on the Echo. And when everybody kind of gets on top of you, even with that red buff for Snow Tooth Funky, even his auto attacks, his abilities and his auto attacks are putting slows down on you, and you're not going to be able to move much.
No, yeah, I think you're right. Even if he had flashed the Ornn, I don't think there is a way for him to get out of that one, not with how much CC they have.
Yeah, it's just a very disgusting CC-based comp from the side of Monster Mash today. Even the Ezreal doesn't have any inherent CC in the kit. As soon as you get that Iceborne, you basically can say that you do have that form of CC with the slows. So, do have a 6k gold differential at 23 minutes. There is vision around the Baron, both sides actually, but hold on, Mandingo's here. He's actually just camping in the bush, gonna find Psycho Ghost. He's gonna try to Valkyrie away. The Protoball is gonna keep him in the area. See if the Galio decides to go in. He's gonna flash for the kill. Mandingo's here on a killing spree, but up on the top side, Islamic Samurai, he's gonna have to try to run away. Nomai gonna use the flash to try to get back on top of him. The Q is gonna land a slow. Lucian just going to continue to chase, but he's going to eventually give up. It's Islamic Samurai. He continues to just waste the time of Nocturnal Dragons across the map. As you do see here, Sephiroth, he is on the Dragon. That might be the second Ocean Drake of the game for the side of Monster Mash. And it will.
At least Nocturnal Dragons can take this moment to kind of clear out some of that vision, hopefully around Baron. It looks like they did miss a ward, though, so...
Yeah, there is still a ward in the Baron pit for the side of Monster Mash. You do see here, there is wards for both sides. So both sides able to see what is going on, at least for the moment. As you see Galio taking away that blue buff in the Nocturnal Dragon's jungle. 18 kills so far in this one. A kill just about every minute and a half or so. Maybe every minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, good game. That Morgana built Redemption over Zonia. She still hasn't used her stopwatch, so it'll be interesting to see if that's what she's going to go for next. And Lucian just got his Bork modified by Ornn. Or upgraded. I don't know what it's called when it's upgraded, but it's been...
I don't know. I want to say forged, but I don't know. Either way, it is it is an upgraded Blade of the Ruin King. Might of the Ruin King, it's called now. And you do see here a little bit more attack damage, a little bit more attack speed, a little bit more lifesteal. Kind of trying to get that Lucian back to a point where he can start to do a whole lot. Because when you look at how much armor the side of Monster Mash has, you have the Sunfire Cape and the Iceborne on the Echo. You have the Iceborne Gauntlet on the Ezreal. And even the Jarvan. The Jarvan actually has Ninja Tabbies. So that Lucian going to have a little bit of trouble finding a whole lot of damage. Unless you can really kind of scale up, really start to get those items back. And put yourself in a position to start doing damage. As the push continues to come on all fronts for the side of Monster Mash.
Interesting to note the Ionian Boots of Lucidity on Morgana. I don't think that's a very typical build, or at least I normally see the Moby boots, so it's just something different.
Certainly here, sorry about that, was stifling a yawn there for a second, but either way, yeah, the Ionian Boots of Lucidity getting a little bit of cooldown reduction, but you're right, the Moby Boots a lot better, at least for moving around the map and kind of getting plays made, but Quetzalcoatl, he might be caught in a bad situation. He's going to go find himself inside the Jarvan cage. That's actually going to be Sephiroth on a rampage. Wolfie actually not able to save him. Going to go ahead and land the Dark Binding onto the Jarvan, though. He's going to flag and drag away. He's going to be low health. Sume actually going to have to flash away as well. They're actually going to flash herself, but you're not able to find any kills if you are the Nocturnal Dragons, as once again, Monster Mash is able to find situations where they can find winning fights. You see here Islamic Samurai just running around the base of the Nocturnal Dragons team. And look at how little damage he takes from those towers. Of course, a common complaint, those towers don't do a whole lot of damage. Kind of makes tower diving a little bit too easy, but you see just how many tank items he has and how much armor he has. Those towers are going to tickle him, and when you have the movement speed boost that Echo does, you can just run on through the base if you get caught in a bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, he saw he couldn't fight the Ornn, decided to just swap on down to mid lane and walk right out.
Now, so you do see here our second forged item, actually our third forged item is going to come out for the side of Nocturnal Dragons. It's going to be Corki picking up that Trinity Fusion. So you take a look at the stats on that one, a little bit more and everywhere. A little bit more everywhere, making you scale just a little bit better. Of course, the Infernal Mask coming out for Ornn. For more magic resist, actually also a Forged Fire Cape. As maybe not a whole lot of items. You do see here the Ornn is trailing an item, actually about 2.5 items for each Ornn and Echo, but those forged items, they certainly do help. They are certainly better stat-wise than what you would normally get with the baseline item.
Definitely a big help out for his team. I'm assuming the next upgraded item will be that Redemption.
Jarvan cage going to come down. That's going to force Psycho Ghost to flash away. Dark Binding cannot find the Jarvan on his way out, so that is going to be a cooldown for the Corki that you don't want to have on cooldown, especially as Monster Mash, they start to hover around this Baron just a little bit. Maybe starting to think about starting that one up.
Hovering the Baron, they've got Echo keeping Ornn occupied. Both of them have TP still, so...
Wolfie, she's going to be taken low. She's going to have to walk away.
Yeah, the flash out.
Yeah, Snow Too Funky forcing the damage down, and so that's going to be the Baron started up here. Already down to about 9k health. You do see some of the members on Nocturnal Dragons, they are in the area, do not have the Blast Cone available to them, so they're going to have to jump over the wall with other means and might not have ways of escape if you decide to take that fight. It's actually going to be Corki and Lucian coming around the wall. They're going to go ahead and try to go in. There is the package for Corki. Going to go ahead and set up the barrier. Now down to 3k health is that Baron. There's a shutdown for Corki. Make that a double kill as he finds the kill on a Janna on the backside of the fight. Sephiroth goes down to Nomad. Nocturnal Dragons find their fight, and now they're going to start up the Baron.
That's that late game. That's the hardest part for Monster Mash to get through, and this is Nocturnal Dragon's chance to just turn the tide.
Yeah, so the Baron is going to go down. It's actually down to about 3.3k health. That will be the Baron for Nocturnal Dragons. This one not over just yet. You do see here the TPs are coming in, though. One from Galio, one from Echo. Are they going to be able to find anybody? They do find Wolfie. She's going to go down. But 4 of the members of Nocturnal Dragons, they're going to escape with that Baron. Actually, hold on just a second. Wolfie's still on the run. She's going to eventually go down. There she goes. Islamic Samurai is going to pick up the kill. But that's 4 members of Nocturnal Dragons with the Baron.
4 with the Baron. Wolfie finally used that stopwatch, so I'm assuming Zonias will come out for the next team fight. But this is that push that Nocturnal needs to kind of start turning the tides at least a little.
Yeah, and so...
start looking at the dragon.
Yeah, certainly definitely an interesting situation here as Nocturnal Dragons, they do get the Baron. Nomad 2-2-2 now for himself. Take a look at the gold. Still actually about even in gold now. Both AD carries are even in gold, so like we were talking about, Nomad and Soti Funky might be a contest between them, but you do see here Nomad, he might be caught in a bad situation. Does have the TP coming down from Jared the Bear. Looks like we may have something coming over this dragon. As Monster Mash, they continue to kind of stand between that dragon and the bottom side where most of the members of Nocturnal Dragons are waiting. Taunt is going to find Psycho Ghost. Mandingo's here. He's going to dash in. Does not find anybody, though. As Jared the Bear, he's going to go ahead and flash away. Looks like we got ourselves a team fight. Psycho Ghost, he's going to find himself an Echo right on top of him. The Galio ult is coming down. Not able to knock anybody up. There's the Echo ultimate coming down. Jared the Bear taking 4 members of Monster Mash here on the backside of the fight. You don't have a whole lot, but Nomad, he's going to try to get it himself. It's going to be Jared the Bear going down first. A kill for Corky. He's 5-2 on a killing spree. Nomad about 75% health. He is still relatively healthy. Can he find the kill onto Mandingo's ear? He does. The next one to fall is going to be Islamic Samurai. That's the double kill for Corky. He is going to go down, though. Still too funky. Does fall to the Corky. There's 2 members left alive. Actually, Quetzalcoatl, he's on the backside, but make that a quadra kill for the Corky. Once again, Nocturnal Dragons, they come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, Monster Mash focused so hard on that Orin, and it let the other members back off a bit, and then just come in when they were all preoccupied.
Yeah, so you do see here, still Baron empowered minions on the Corky, and with everybody dead, he has some free time to just push in that tower all by his lonesome. That's going to be a tower. Sephiroth going to respond by heading to the bottom lane, but Psycho Ghost, he's going to be long gone by the time that Jarvan gets there. Just going to have to clear out some minions for himself, and you see Psycho Ghost, he's actually going to go ahead and take out the Krugs on his way out of the jungle as well. So 32 minutes into this one, 2k gold differential between these two teams. Now remember, this game was once a 6k gold differential about 10 minutes ago for the side of Monster Mash. That gap continuing to just close with the Baron. Sephiroth continuing to take red buffs for himself. So this one has gotten really interesting really fast. And of course, how well can you keep alive not just the Lucian at this point? We talked a lot about Nomad, but Psycho Ghost, he is actually in a very good position now. You see here, he has himself 3 items, the Mercury Treads, to keep himself down, or to keep himself from getting CC'd for too long. And then also has the Essence Reaver to help his mana problems. Nomad, he's going to jump on top of the Echo, going to do quite a bit of damage. He's actually going to drop the ultimate, as he's going to take Islamic Samurai all the way down to 0. He goes ahead and finishes that kill. That's going to be kill number 4 for Nomad on the Lucian. Echo going down for the 5th time here in this game. 33 minutes, as you do see here, Mandingo, he's going to be caught out by the Dark Binding. Nomad going to put a little bit of damage back onto him. Only 50% damage, but there's the Dark Binding once again. Quetzalcoatl, he's going to dive under the tower, does finish the kill. It's going to be the first kill of the game for Quetzalcoatl, actually, but here comes the rest of Monster Mash. Psycho Ghost, he's going to have to kind of flash away. That's going to force out the stopwatch from Corky. He's just going to go ahead and sacrifice himself so that everybody else can stay alive, and so he will go ahead and go down. But what a game this has turned into. 34 minutes. Just a 2k gold difference for Monster Mash. About even in towers. Only a 1 tower difference between these two sides. And of course, you do see the dragons. 2 Ocean Drakes for Monster Mash. And 2 Mountain Drakes for the side of Nocturnal Dragons. Of course, Summer, she'll be right back. Of course, taking care of her other staff duties. So, doing my best to do things solo while we wait for her return here. But, of course, do want to remind you, as this game's kind of maybe slowed down just a tad bit, you do have 2 more games after this. We've got 3 games as per usual. Week 3, day 2 of the Commonwealth League. You do have G3 Reapers and RAR coming up after this. RAR, of course, looking to avenge their loss last night as G3 Reapers, they look to continue to be that mid-tier threat, that mid-table threat. And then our last game tonight, battle of an 0-5 team and a 5-0 team. Lionheart Esports, they look to claim their first win of the season, but of course they've got a very tough opponent to handle if they want to do that against the 5-0 mediocre at best side. So that will be our final game of the night, our main event, so to speak, for week 3. Nomad just doing things out in front. He's actually going to take a lot of damage from that Ezreal, taken down to about 30% health. He's going to have to try to back away now. As you see, Jared the Bear and Islamic Samurai, they are just continuing to fight down on the bot side. Kind of a wet noodle fight here at this stage, but you do see here, Echo does actually have the Leandrix Torment. So the longer you fight him, the more powerful, the more damage he's going to do. Of course, you get 2% more damage, more HP damage for every second you are in combat. So if you're in combat for 5 seconds, I believe, you max that one out. But Nomad, he's going to flash in. He's going to try to find some damage down. That's going to force the Galio ultimate down. He's going to put... not find anybody on the knockup, but the taunt also not going to find Nomad. He is going to find Jared the Bear, though. Jared the Bear is trying to do some action on the front lines, but Mandingo's there. He's actually claimed the kill on the Nomad, and Jared the Bear, he's going to have to try to run away as Islamic Samurai just continues to put some damage down as they continue to posture over this latest dragon that's going to come up in just a little bit, I believe. It's actually going to be the Elder Dragon. So definitely a big objective to fight over there. Jared the Bear, he's going to have to try to flash away to get out of the Echo W. You see all 5 members of Monster Mash are hanging out in the area. Jared the Bear maybe taking the wrong route there. He's going to find himself re-engaged upon Psycho Ghost. He is on the front of the fight, but there's a big 3-man taunt coming out from Mandingo Zero. The first one to fall is going to be Jared the Bear, but Galio will go down in response, and Psycho Ghost does find his first kill of the fight. Next kill is going to be Ketsuko going down to Islamic Samurai. There is the Echo ultimate. The Dark Binding is going to connect with the Echo, but you do see here, the last missile not able to find Samurai, so he's going to walk away with his life. But all in all, a 2-for-2 in what was basically a 4v5 fight for the Nocturnal Dragons. And maybe not the fight you wanted for Nocturnal Dragons, but definitely the fight that you're going to take. As you do see here, actually, Monster Mash, they're starting to head towards that Baron.
I'm back. Okay, sorry. Definitely not a great fight right there. They poked out the Corki enough that without the Lucian damage to kind of back that up and the Corki having to leave that fight, there wasn't a whole lot of damage output for them to use on the side of Nocturnal Dragon.
Yeah, so you see here, it's another Baron started up for Monster Mash. Last time out, this didn't go so well for them. You do have Psycho Ghost and Nomad in the area. The TP is going to come down from Jared the Bear. He's going to find himself on the opposite side of the fight. Here we go. Baron is going to be taken down to about 1.6k health. It's going to be the Morgana. She steals the Baron. Already a kill down for the side of Nocturnal Dragons onto the Jarvan. Who's going to be the next one to fall? It's actually going to be Psycho Ghost going down. Snow Tooth Funky, he is still relatively healthy. Nomad, he's going to go down to Islamic Samurai, but the Echo is going to fall to Jared the Bear. It is going to be a double kill for Ezreal. He is still fully healthy. He's going to end up clearing out the backside of the fight. Nocturnal Dragons take the Baron, but Monster Mash take the fight. A quadra kill for Snow Tooth Funky.
That, I mean, smiting, not on the side of Monster Mash tonight, but that resulting fight from that, really nice. Baron doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you do see here the Baron, or the death timer's up around 30 seconds for 4 members of Nocturnal Dragon. So how much can you take as this Ezreal? At least you get an inhibitor, I believe. Maybe not a whole lot more, but you are going to at least start to apply some of that pressure as you really kind of maybe started to throw just a little bit, but now kind of swinging things back in your favor. You won't have the Baron, but at least you do get that inhibitor when everything's said and done. So 38.5 minutes in this one. 26 kills to 20. Suddenly this has turned into a pretty bloody game here at the 38-minute mark. Now up to a 4k gold difference. You do see here Snow Tooth Funky. He's actually going to go ahead and start up that Elder Drake. The members of Nocturnal Dragons, they are going to start heading in that direction. We might have another fight They might have another fight coming up here over this next epic objective. This next major objective, I should say. Ketsuko, he's going to go on top of the Azir. Not a whole lot of damage for that Xin Zhao. Just can only provide a little bit of CC. Severat, he's going to go ahead and dive on the Gnome Lad. That's a big target down. That's already 2 kills in the fight for the side of MOMvsNDR. Make that 3, make that 4 as Wolfie will fall. Jared the Bear, he's going to try to run away. Of course, as long as Samurai, he's already on top, and so too Funky will be applying the slows as well. He's going to find his way to the tower, but that's 4 members down for Nocturnal Dragons, and MOMvsNDR, they're just going to go ahead and push up the middle, maybe think about ending this game. So the push in on the Nexus towers, as you do see, they are going to take down at least one. Jared the Bear going to try to do his damnedest to keep everything going, but he is going to eventually fall from the various amounts of damage that this MOMvsNDR side can put out. It's a place ace for MOMvsNDR. They're going to take down the Nexus. They will improve to 2 and 4 on the season. They are tied with the Nocturnal Dragons here in the standings. They win in 40 minutes.
They did it! Sorry, I'm... Like you said, I've been doing a lot of staff stuff in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but they did it!
So MOMvsNDR will take down the side of Nocturnal Dragons as we go ahead and switch on back to the post-game screen. At least I hope we can get to the post-game screen here, as we'll take a look at the damage totals and really kind of see who really impacted this game, because for the most part, it kind of got suspect in the middle of the game, Summer. I mean, it seems like Nocturnal Dragons, they were going to be able to maybe crawl back into that one, but then you had that fight at the Baron in which you came out on top. Of course, you didn't get the Baron. It wasn't a clean fight by any means, but at least you were able to clean up the fight and get the clean ace. But then, and then that second fight over the Elder Drake, in which you were able to clear out Nocturnal Dragons once again to really kind of end this game in a proverbial hurry. Still 40-minute game, still a marathon game for game number 1. But as you take a look at the damage totals, Summer, I'll let you go ahead and go first. I know you're busy and I know you're kind of doing things, but from what you remember, who is your MVP for game number 1?
I'm gonna have to say, and he's not from the winning team, and this may be shocking because everybody knows I love Monster Mash, but that Quirky, Psycho Ghost on Quirky, it was 10 out of 10. I think he was really good about helping with turning it around in the mid game, helping with some of that late game potential. I liked the Quirky.
All right, and so with that, we'll go ahead and move on to game number 2. It's going to be G3 Reapers. They are going to try to claim their next victory over the side of Raw. Raw are going to try to find their way back into the winning column. So we'll be back in just a little bit, but you're watching Week 3, Day 2 of the Commonwealth League here on Twitch.